Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. Sandy Berger, our consumer electronics expert, freshly back from the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, is here with us tonight talking about what she saw at CES. And it's going to be a good show. And I think it's going to be very entertaining tonight. So we look forward to you participating and listening to us on Computer America. We'll be starting momentarily.
One minute until showtime.
Yeah, Sandy, if you go in the chat room, you have to stop the video stream, otherwise we'll hear you. Oh, well, actually, we'll hear myself. We'll hear an echo. Because it auto starts when you go in there.
I think something you can do is you can mute it before you start it.
I don't know.
No, you can.
You can? Okay, good.
And then once you start the Google Hangouts.
Here we go.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And it's Wednesday, and or as Charles used to call it, Hump Day.
Wednesday Madness, for sure.
Wednesday Madness, yes, it is. Well, I saw was it Star Fortress posted said Wacky Wednesday or Wonderful Wednesday. He came up with a what do you call them when they sound
alliteration.
Iteration, yes, exactly. But whatever it is Wednesday, and we got a great show planned for you. Sandy Berger, our consumer electronics expert and Computer America correspondent, is here with us for both hours. She is just back from the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. We were out there last week, and Sandy joined us up on the Showstoppers event out there. But there was way too much to talk about. We just had 2 hours of that event. So I mentioned to Sandy, go in there, check out all the things, and when you're with us for the your 2-hour show, you'll have a load of things to talk about, and she certainly does have all kinds of things to talk about what you saw out there in the world of consumer electronics, and it is a vast world, and it is a huge.
As Grayson Hamilton was pointing out last night, he logged in. What was it? He logged in 36 miles walked over 5 days, and he still only got a fraction of what was there.
Yeah, he missed like a third of the show, a whole floor or something. He didn't even realize it was there. It was too late. So
yeah, I missed like a whole wing.
A whole wing. Now, let me tell you a little bit how to interact with this because we are certainly an interactive show. The easiest way is to pick up the phone and give us a call. It's 347. 884-8881, 347-884-8881 will get you on and get you through. We also have email, live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. Get your email into us. You can also join us in our live interactive chat room. From our homepage at computeramerica.com, there's a button there that says chat and live video. Just click that. On the left-hand side, you'll see the entry screen for our chat room. Just put in a nickname, which is the name you'll be known by when you go in there. click the connect button. Just follow the instructions, and your browser will move you in there. Also sharing the same page is our live Computer America video streaming page. That's right. Not only can you listen to the show, but you can watch the show as well, if you so choose. So we also have that there. That's up and running. So that's how you interact with it. Now, I think what we should do is let me just tell you a little bit about Sandy and one of the reasons why I like her when she does what she does on her show. And here's the thing: when Sandy talks about a product, it's completely editorial. She's not being paid to talk about it, so she's going to give you her honest opinion about that product. If she likes it, she'll say she likes it, she'll tell you why, So, and if she doesn't like it, she'll tell you why she doesn't like it too. Or if she's sort of in the middle of the road, she'll explain that as well. So you really get the straight scoop about any product that she's going to be speaking about. So, okay. So, but let me I'm talking about her. I haven't even introduced her, so let me just do that now. Sandy Berger is here with us. She's the consumer electronics expert, well versed in things like printers, cell phones, digital cameras, TVs. DVD players, you name it. If you plug it in or it has batteries, she probably knows a lot about it. Her website is CompuKiss.com, and as I said, she's one of our Computer America correspondents who appears here on the show on a regular basis. Sandy, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm doing well, Craig. Still a little tired after CES, but I survived the whole thing.
How many miles did you walk at CES?
Probably close to 30. And I did most of the show, but there were things that I missed as well. It's almost impossible, even if you spend every minute on the show floor, to see everything that's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, how many days were you there? I mean, when did you get there? When did you leave?
I actually was there for a week. My husband and I go and we do a whole week there. So that gives us a couple days before it starts and a day afterwards to kind of collapse. So it works out really well for us.
But I mean, is there anything to do in Vegas? Why would you go early?
Well, everybody... I come back, everybody says, well, what shows did you see? And every year, we want to go to a show, but we never have the time.
Well, maybe next time you should take a little extra time. Maybe go for a week and a half or something.
A week and a half, yeah, just to see a show.
Catch a show, do some shopping, a little gambling.
I mean, you did see a show, it was CES, but...
CES, yes, that was a show.
Yeah, it was a big show.
With 170,000 of my closest tech friends.
Yeah. And a lot of them.
Yeah, it was huge this year, absolutely huge.
So would you say that it's grown from the last time you were there?
Oh, definitely. I've been going every year for probably 15 years, and every year it's gotten bigger. Last year was 160,000. Year before that was, I believe, 150 or 155. So every year it has grown, and that means the crowds grow, the venues grow, everything gets bigger and bigger.
So that number is the number of vendors, is what you're talking about.
No, that's the number of people that attended the show.
Yeah.
60,000. Okay. I was going to say that's a lot of vendors. How many vendors are actually out there?
I should know that. I know there were 20,000 products they talked about.
A lot of vendors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I mean, it was just a couple years ago where Apple said they weren't going to, and Microsoft said they weren't going to, actually have a booth or a display set up at these things, and everyone was kind of saying, well, that's the end of CES, one of the last great trade shows.
And it didn't happen. What actually happened is more people came, and Apple was there in other people. In other words, like their HomeKit, there were a lot of people talking about Apple's HomeKit, and we're going to support it and all that sort of thing. So even though they didn't have a presence on the floor, they were still a big part of it, same as Microsoft. Microsoft did not have a big presence like they used to have, a huge booth, but now they're in with a lot of other people. So you see Microsoft, you see the name Apple, they're all there in one way or another. And this year in particular, what really grew a lot was the cars, the car manufacturers. They're up to 10 car manufacturers that were there. And 5 years ago, there were like 1 or 2, so that's pretty amazing.
Well, because cars are becoming more consumer electronics than ever before.
Exactly.
And that's,
Exactly.
and because of it's they don't go to just auto shows anymore now because they're so electronically driven and computer oriented. There's like computers on wheels. It makes sense for them to show their products at CES.
That's right.
I mean, we're especially with the cars. Like, I know Google is always there, and they're always showing off their self-driving car. I mean, is that what the car companies are there for? To show off, what technology is going to be in your car, or are they showing off, hey, check out the new, Ford Fiesta, 2011 with this great, cassette player. Like,
Well,
is it
probably
cars
a
of
little.
today or tomorrow?
A little bit of both. There were some concept cars there, so they showed the car that drove itself from California to Nevada. Because in both California and Nevada, they can have the self-driving cars. So they had a car there that had driven all the way there. And a lot of concept cars, things of the future. But then there were cars there, like Volkswagen had the Golf Touch there. Their Golf Touch is going on sale this month, I believe. They said it was going to be around $35,000. But this car has 3 displays inside on the dashboard. And besides being touch displays, you can also just hold your hand up in front of it. Kind of like Minority Report.
So gesture control is
Gesture controlled. And it can drive itself onto its charging pad. I mean, really neat things that are available right now. It was pretty amazing.
Well, I wonder what the gesture control would interpret, something like this.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of when they were talking about this gesture control was, boy, if you yell at the kids in the back seat, don't use your hands.
I mean, it's going to be able to sense your road rage, and you're giving someone, the one finger wave, and it's going to do something different.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try one of those out, actually.
Exactly. Well, either that or a collision is imminent when you're doing it. Exactly. So automobiles were there, a lot of them full force. And it's interesting you mentioned Apple. I mean, Apple pulled out of Macworld, for crying out loud, which was and it sort of killed Macworld after that. They stayed on for a few more years, but it kind of killed it.
Right.
And of course, if you remember, then Comdex was the big computer convention, and when that folded, it got rolled into
CES.
Yeah, so,
yes, I used to go to Comdex, and then it got rolled over. Mm-hmm.
Right. And let's face it, computers are consumer electronics. I mean, it really does. It fits into that, and so no need to differentiate that. So,
that's true. Mm-hmm.
Especially with the internet now, the Internet of Things and everything going internet and everything being connected, and it all works with your computer and your smartphone. So it really makes a lot of sense.
Well, there's sensors in just about everything now, and that's the computer electronics or the electronics that they're talking about. And this is the first year I felt that the hardware actually had gotten ahead of itself. In other words, they have all the sensors now. They have everything miniaturized into very small packages, and now they're trying to decide what to do with it. In other words, connected home. Do people really want a connected crock pot? Do they really want their door locks connected? Well, maybe not, okay? But they had some things there that were fantastic. They had a Band-Aid that you could put on a baby or a child who was sick, and their temperature would be automatically transferred to your cell phone. So if their temperature went up during the night, you could be alerted to that. Now, I thought that was very useful. But there were a lot of things that were, pie in the sky. They're just trying to see if it fits.
And it's funny that you mentioned, or you give the example of the crockpot. Grayson Hamilton gave us the crockpot. Charles Sandell mentioned the crockpot. You mentioned the crockpot. This crockpot, and I'm assuming it's a crockpot, because crockpot is, of course, a brand in on itself. It's a slow cooker. I mean, was it by crockpot?
Yeah, it was, I think, repeated over again because it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That it seems like a silly thing to be connected to the internet. And some other things that seemed silly. Did anybody talk about the internet-connected toothbrush?
No.
Yes, they talked about the internet-connected toothbrush, yes.
Oh, okay, see, that's something that, as an adult, if
I don't know if I want someone looking into my mouth, via the internet.
well,
But
not only that, but if you've been brushing for 40 or 50 years, do you want somebody to tell you you've been? No,
yeah,
I don't anyway. But for a
yeah.
kid, I mean, it might be a great way to learn how to brush properly so that they take better care of their teeth. So some of these items have pluses and minuses depending on, where you are in life.
I mean, slap a couple high scores and make a website for it. It's a game, but I, I, from what I've heard of CES, not being there, but just everyone telling me about it, it seems like you're right. It's just they have so many computer chips. They're manufacturing them. They're making smaller and smaller. They can fit them into almost everything, and then they put them in everything.
That's right. And now they're going to see which things people accept and which things that they reject.
Right.
And when
let me just. No, I'm just going to say, let me just let our listeners know that that Sandy has some intermittent internet problems tonight, and we're trying to do the video, but if it continues to be like this, we might have her kill the video so we can hear audio. Just by the way, is your internet connection direct, or are you using Wi-Fi connection, Sandy?
It's direct.
Okay, all right. Well, then maybe
like I was telling Craig earlier, I think what's happening is I get a great connection all day long, and I'm a morning person, so that suits me just fine. Get up early, work all day. But when I stay up late at night like this, the connection seems to get overloaded, and I think people are streaming a lot more video than they used to at this particular time of night.
And you're using a cable modem, correct? So that basically it's a shared access.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, why don't you kill the video and
kill the
let's
video.
see if that's let's see if that you can always bring. No,
right.
you're not going with the video, but we'll see how that works and let's see if that fixes the problem.
All right. Now you've got audio only.
Okay, good. All right. So
now I can go and put on my PJs.
No, he might bring you back. So here's the thing. If you want to follow along. We make this very simple for you to do. If you go to computeramerica.com, right there in the center of the screen where it says interact with the show, you'll see it says show notes. That button, just click it. And you'll see tonight's show, which is January the 14th. And you'll see the description, Sandy Berger. Her name is clickable. It will take you to her website, which is compukiss.com. And also we talk about some of the things that she's going to be talking about tonight. However, right below that paragraph is a hyperlink that says cheat notes. And if you click on that, it will open another window, a Google Docs document, and you can see most everything we're going to be talking about tonight. And it's very useful because not only can you follow along, but you can read the description, you can see pictures of what we're talking about, and also, most importantly, the link to the manufacturer's website if you want more information. And also the retail prices on the cheat note. So everything you need to know about what we're talking about tonight is on the cheat note. So if you want to follow along, it's just another way you can interact with us here on Computer America. So that given, let's start with the very first thing here, and it's called the Polaroid Cube. And I thought Polaroid was out of business, but evidently they're not. They're still around.
Polaroid actually had a huge presence at CES.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of cameras that were built in with printers, that take a picture and print it out immediately, and dash cams. And then they had this one little device, which I've been looking at, and it is a cube. It's like a rubberized cube that is 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, okay? So it's very small. Hold it in the palm of your hand. And on the bottom of it is a magnet. So what it is really is an action cam. So you can stick this on your bicycle. You can stick it on the roof of your car, your motorcycle, wherever you want to stick it, and it's like a Go Cam.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it is. It takes video at 1080p. It takes, I think, 6 megapixel pictures. Now, I found the pictures not to be that great, but the video was excellent. It does video and audio.
Yeah, I can definitely see how this cube, because I mean it's a cube, And so I could see how trying to, hold that thing and take pictures with it might be a little awkward and clunky when everyone's used to their slim and sleek smartphones nowadays. But the video would, probably be the redeeming feature of it. I mean, is it supposed to be a competitor to the GoPro? Like you?
It is. It is definitely a competitor to GoPro, and it comes with mounts too. It's got actually a magnet on the bottom, which I found to be have much more power than I thought it would. I could stick it on the roof of the car and go 40 miles an hour, and it stuck on without a problem. But you can also get a helmet mount or a bike mount or tripod mount for $20 or $30. You get these extra things if you actually want to mount it. You want to keep it on your bike all the time or something like that. Yeah, the thing about this, and it's colorful, by the way, comes in red, blue, and I think white. So it's really cute. It's colorful, and it's inexpensive. It's $99, and
Well,
it does a good job.
Well, that's very competitive to the GoPro because the GoPro is like several $100s, is it not?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, like $300, $400, $500.
Right. So this is an inexpensive GoPro, is what it is. You don't have as much control over things as you do with the GoPro, but if you're just starting off, or you just want to try it out, or do one thing like, videotape a bicycle ride or something like that, it's kind of a neat little thing.
Can you put it on your dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, they do have a mount that you can. It's called a strap mount, so you could actually put the thing on your dog, or just about anything you can think of.
Now, how steady is it? Because I mean, obviously your dog is running; it's going boom, boom, boom. I mean, is there any stabilization in this thing, or is it?
To tell you the truth, I didn't put it on my dog. Oh, I don't have a dog, so that's why I didn't put it on my dog. There is definitely stabilization because the videos come out really nice. Now, how much stabilization, I'm not sure. It's supposed to be splash proof. It's not waterproof. You can get a waterproof case if you want to, take videos at the pool or something like that. It's got a microphone. The one thing about it is it's only got one control on the top. It's got a little tiny button that you press, and you have to learn how to do it. In other words, two presses, or a press and hold turns it on, and then two presses turns the video on. One press takes a picture, and then press and hold again to turn it off. So that's the only thing. There is a little LED light, but again, you have to learn what the LED light means. In other words, if it's red, it means a certain thing. If it's yellow, it means something else. Green means go.
You have
boy, before Craig says anything, you mean you actually have to read the manual? Ben, can you imagine doing that? No, I can't, Craig. That's amazing. Really, Ben? See, that's how that conversation would have just played out if I just let Craig finish that sentence. Just saying.
Just saying. Okay.
You heard me starting to say because he knows. But let me ask you this. I mean, how much video can you record, and how much memory is in this thing?
It takes a memory card.
Okay.
So it doesn't work at all without the memory card. So you've got a micro SD card up to 32 gigs that you can put in there.
Okay, and what kind of video resolutions? I mean, about how long?
You've got two choices, 720p or 1080p, and the 720p will last about 90 minutes. I think the 1080p lasted somewhere right around an hour.
Okay.
Not bad.
Which isn't bad for the amount that you're paying for this thing.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. The one thing I will say about it is if you get one of these or any action or video cams like that, get a Class 10 card, because I tried, actually I started with the Class 10 card, and then I tried some lower quality cards, and the video was much choppier.
Explain to our listeners what you mean by a Class 10. What is this class rating that it has? What is that?
Well, the class rating in a micro SD card actually just gives you a better card, better capabilities is what you might want to say. Mm-hmm. Can you explain it better than that, Craig?
Well, in other words, the quality of the memory is a little better. It's a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and obviously, if you're going to be using, I mean, this was a standard camera, you wouldn't need something like that. But the fact that you're going to be strapping it on your dog or who knows what, then you probably want to get the best possible connection.
And
And
to be honest with you, even in regular cameras now, I use Class 10 cards.
yeah,
You just get better quality.
yeah, and you're only spending $99 on this, so put the money into the memory.
And the memory cards are not that expensive. I mean, Class 10 cards you can get for $12 for
Oh,
32 gigs or something like that today. So
there's no excuse, really.
exactly, there's no excuse to buy anything lesser quality because you're going to be saving $2 or $3. It's not worth it.
No.
And by the way, I looked up these classes things because I personally had never heard of them. I don't do many memory cards if you can't tell, but apparently each class is a different level of what is it, megabytes per second.
Right.
Megabyte. So I mean, class 2 is for just standard video recording.
Right.
Class 4 is class 4 and class 6 are for a high definition. So 1080p, 720p. Class 10 is full HD, so 1080p video recording, and it also allows for stills. And then they have UHS speed 1 and 3, class 1 and 3, and those are more for large HD video files or 4K video. So,
right, and you won't need those with this,
No.
but you will need a Class 10.
Yeah.
Is that the highest class there is?
That's the highest class, yes. As these classes go without going to the next type of card that Ben was talking about, which does like 4K.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the best possible class, get yourself a class 10. Okay.
Right.
Did you get any hands-on? You got hands-on with it. You actually have one in your hand. I know we have your video off, but we're getting perfect audio, so that.
Yes, I do. I do have one that Polaroid sent me, and it's well made.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, it's rubberized, so it's kind of protected. It's solid. It doesn't feel chintzy at all. It's a very solid looking device.
Okay, and for $99, you can't go.
Yeah, I was about to say, for $100, that's it's no GoPro, but then again, it's it should be a considerable piece of equipment, because I would think if it was like a cube and it was like $30, it'd be fully plastic and you wouldn't want to take it anywhere. But at $100, it seems like you get a pretty good piece of camera.
Yeah, I think you do. The problem with this type of a thing is getting it adjusted so that you take the picture properly. It can be difficult because you have no screen, so you can't see exactly what you're taking until you take the memory card out, or it's got a little. It's got a little plug in the back that you can plug in the a USB charger.
Okay.
So you can plug it into your computer and see the video that way.
Okay. Now, is there only one model of this cube?
As far as I know, there's like 3 different colors, but only one model.
Okay. So
It's fairly new. It's just come out. They had some new, like I said, Polaroid had some really nice looking dash cams as well.
Dash cams, really?
Mm-hmm.
So Polaroid is still out there and they're doing the thing, of course, no more film. Polaroid made its reputation with the instant camera, with the instant film
Right.
back in the 50s and 60s, but digital cameras pretty much made that obsolete. And
Right, but now they've kind of made a comeback. Over the years, they've had various cameras that also print the pictures, not like the original Polaroids, but like newer digital Polaroids. And they this year have come out with another camera like that, and I looked at it. It looked good, but I haven't had any hands-on with it. So,
some of the big names. I mean, Polaroid was one of them. Kodak was another big name that the digital cameras just basically annihilated what it was they did doing. I mean,
well, Kodak was a big lumbering company that kept on lumbering and didn't catch up, but they're still out there in various forms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but some of the other brands are still out there. Nikon is still there, although they make digital cameras too, and Canon. They make more than just printers. They make really nice cameras. Olympus also makes.
Right. All of those companies moved very quickly to the digital, where Polaroid and Kodak, I think, took too long to make the transition.
What do you think that is? Do you think Mr. Kodak just didn't want to?
I think I've actually read a few books on it and looked at the company itself, and they were so entrenched in what they were doing, they thought it would never go away, and so they just didn't keep up.
It seemed like they, they were heavily invested in that the film,
Right.
and they didn't want to change that. I mean, as soon as you take away the film, you start selling cameras that don't require film, there goes half your business anyway. So.
Right. Exactly.
Really interesting. It was one of the last hang-ons, but now movie cameras when they're filming are all digital.
Right, and they just tried to hold on too long, I believe.
Yeah. Well.
But they're coming around.
Yeah, they've tried other things. We had Kodak printers for a while, and that didn't work too well. I did see Kodak someplace, though. Was it at CES this year? I have to rethink that.
Their printers were their entry was that their refillable ink was cartridges were very inexpensive. They were
But they had other problems with their printers, so.
Yeah. I still think I love Epson. I mean, Epson. I love their small-in-one printer that they have now. I'm using the XP Expression 820. I just love that printer. I mean, it does everything like it possibly want. I still have the laser printer, for large quantities of print, but I think I really like the Epson brand. HP is good too, but I like Epson. So that's my 2 cents. Anyway, we're at the bottom of the hour break, and we're going to continue on. Sandy Berger is here with us for both hours. She's back from CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, and we're going to continue on with her, talking about some of the great things that she saw out there. 347-884-8881 is the number to get you on to get you through. We have a news tip bulletin review by Marty Winston. That's coming up in this hour and the next. And you listen to Computer America on the Boost Radio Network, the Blog Talk Radio Network, the IRN Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Here we go again. It's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the ScanSnap iX100 mobile scanner. Our favorite sheetfed desktop scanner is the Fujitsu ScanSnap model, so when they told us about their iX100, we said send it. It's entirely portable. Charged through a USB port, that's one option for connecting it to Windows or a Mac. The other is Wi-Fi, which gets even more interesting when you team it up with one of its apps for Android or iOS. It's a little smaller than, think rectangular solid, 1.5 inches by 2 inches, kind of squarish, by 11 inches, less than a foot long, and it unfolds the cover to become its paper pad. It comes with the same ScanSnap software suite to allow immediate scans to any of a variety of formats, including options using OCR, optical character recognition, turning those shapes of words into actual words. Bottom line, the very portable ScanSnap iX100 is a small and lightweight road companion that can easily save more than its own weight in the paper you don't have to take along. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It's 33 minutes past the hour, and Sandy Berger is here with us talking about everything she saw out at CES. And it's we just finished up the Polaroid Cube. Polaroid, as Craig liked to point out, are not dead. They're still around. Do not mistake them. I guess they could be the what was his name? The comedian in the 80s that everyone thought was dead. I don't remember. Anyways, no, he did the weird whatever. I'll remember it later and be like, oh, forgiven.
Like Pee Wee Herman?
No, not Pee Wee Herman. 1 second.
You'll Google it and find out. But in the meantime, we're going to go to this next item here, and this is headphones. And I'm sure you found a whole bunch of headphones out there at the Consumer Electronics Show, but for some reason you decided to pick the Marshall Major 2 headphones. Why did you select this particular model?
Well, actually, Marshall gave me a set of their newest headphones to look at. And it's been a company that I've heard of for years and years. Okay, they've been around for probably 50 years. It's a British company. They have a reputation in the rock industry. Matter of fact, if you look at the show notes, you'll see that the headphones are held by a guy who's got tattoos all over his hands and arms.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, and that's because they're into this rock type thing, and yet they have a reputation for being evenly even between the bass and the treble and that. In other words, like your Dr. Dre's are very bassy. They're very heavy into the bass, and these are more evenly equalized. So I decided to take a look at them, and they're pretty impressive. They sound great. They're quality made. Very, very nice, flexible. One thing I really liked is they have an L-shaped connector, and the connector can go into either earphone. So there is a left and a right, but you can put the connector into either ear, whatever suits you. And I do have trouble sometimes, like the headphones that I have on are only on the left side. I have another pair that the microphone is on the right side, etc., etc. So that was a really nice feature. It's got an inline microphone. They're foldable. And I thought, in general, everything that I listened to at CES, to me, sounded better than what I listened to last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of funny to say it that way, but it seems like all these companies have really improved the audio quality. And after I picked these up, listened to them, nicely padded and everything else, I was surprised by the price. The retail that they're listing on their website is $120, and these seem like better quality to me that I would probably think that they would be more expensive.
But the thing that strikes me is
Whoa, okay, 1 second. Someone in the chat room, four in the chat room, and we figure out here, Bobcat Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait, yeah.
Polaroid is to technology as Bobcat Goldthwait is to comedy.
Oh, okay.
Everyone thought they were dead.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. You telling me he's not dead? He's still alive?
He is still alive.
Okay.
And Polaroid is still alive.
Okay, yeah, so
there you go. All right.
Well, what I was starting to say, by the way, I think he's a very funny comedian. By the way.
Yeah.
The thing that struck me immediately when looking at these things was the cups that go over the ear are square, not round, not oval. They're square.
They're square, yeah, and yet they fit the ear very well. The only thing I will say, the negative that to me is a negative, um, these headphones fit my head perfectly. My husband put them on, and he felt that they were comfortable for him.
Mhm.
But I think if you have a large head, they're going to be a little tight.
At least Ben out. Ben's
I don't know. I
It's
really,
sad.
yeah, I would say you know, if you've got a big head, try these on first before you buy them. They are adjustable, and I'm sure they would. They're very flexible, so I'm sure that they would adjust to your head, but they're snug.
One thing that when I first put on headphones that weren't suitable for my cranium size, which is extra extra huge,
Your brain or cranium, or just your head?
just a big old fat Scottish head. Anyways,
All right.
he gets a big brain from his mom, so that's it.
Okay.
wow. Apparently, you just called my mom with a fat head. So how dare you?
Oh.
Anyways,
Big brain. Yeah, okay.
anyways, what I meant to say was for anyone who has this symptom, who has this condition and has never realized what the problem is, when you put on headphones, like you could fit them on, they're fine. It's just eventually they're going to start squeezing your head, and then you're going to get like a headache, and it's going to you're slowly going to get a headache, and you're not really going to realize what it is until you take the headphones off, and you're like, oh, that was it. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You do get a headache from headphones that are too tight, and these, again, just take a look before you go out and buy them. There were headphones every place at CES, and Bluetooth speakers, unbelievable. But Blue Microphones had a pair of headphones that I can't wait to try. Amplified headphones.
Yeah, Blue Microphone makes some of the most outstanding quality products. I don't know if you know this, but Ben has a Blue microphone. He's not using it tonight from his location, but he has a Blue microphone that he plugs in, and it makes him sound, gives him such better presence, audio presence when he uses it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually have a Blue microphone that I've used for podcasting.
Oh, there it is. He's holding it up. You can actually see it. There it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And that what is that model again? That's the
that is the Blue Digital Spark.
Digital Spark, which is one of the newer ones that they came out.
Right.
Yeah.
I have an old one called the Snowball.
Yes.
Remember that one?
Everyone loves their Snowball.
Yeah, it's years old, and it's still a great microphone. So I can't wait to try these. Now the blue microphones headphones were I think they were listing for $399. So you can't and I tried them out there, and they sounded fantastic. But these Marshalls are nice, good sound for the price.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I said Blue makes some outstanding audio products. I use their Blue Icicle when I want to record something. Because the Icicle takes a balanced microphone and
Whoa! You have a Blue microphone, and I had to essentially rob you of this one that you weren't even using.
No, I don't have a Blue microphone. I have an Icicle. An Icicle is a peripheral into which you plug your standard balanced microphone, which I have here, and it turns the 3-prong connector into a USB connector, so you can plug it directly into your computer.
But you don't need a mixer.
Yeah, and the audio quality that comes out of that is outstanding. It really is. It's the best possible sound. So they make some incredible. They do a lot of research. They just don't slap this stuff together. This doesn't happen by accident. They have engineers that obviously know what they're doing. At Blue Mic.
They do. Yeah, they do. At Blue, they're very, very good. And I think Marshall, too, the headphones say established in 1962.
Mm-hmm.
So they have been around for quite a while.
Yeah, that's true. They have been around quite a while. Okay, well, let's go to this. Anything else you want to mention with the headphone? Let's go to this next item.
No, I'm good. Yeah, let's move on.
Well, this is called the Bliss Lights. And I looked at this picture that I'm looking at is amazing. I mean, it looks like a fantasy world of some sort. It's really what are these things?
These are very small. When I say small, I'm saying maybe the light itself is a diameter of about 3 or 4 inches, and of course it's got a plug and all that attached to it. But it's a laser light. And so when you look at it, it's just something would usually use it outside. You could use it inside too, but it comes with a stem so that you can put it into the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and you shine it up towards some trees. I have a green one, and it's like little pixie fairy lights that have gone up into the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So we put one of these bliss lights out for Christmas this year. We had people stop by our house and ask my husband how he got the lights up in the top of the pine trees. Because I'm in North Carolina, we have these tall pines, and the bliss light just sparkle little fairy lights all the way to the top of the trees. And if I put one in the front of the house, you can actually see the little tiny green lights toward the back of the house.
Yeah.
And if it's a starry night, the green fairy lights will kind of coordinate with the stars and go right into the sky. They're amazing, just totally amazing. It's really hard to describe. If you're looking at the show notes, that gives you a little tiny idea of what these things are like. I don't know how they do it. I know it's laser, it's holographic technology, but totally amazing.
People are so lucky they didn't have this during disco, because it would have blown people's minds.
Really, really. And they've come out with some new things. The bliss lights they've had out for a couple months. I think it's called a Sprite light. They come in green, blue, and red, and each of those has different patterns. The green, to me, being the nicest. But they've also come out with one this year. They showed at Showstoppers that was fairy lights, and it was like little tiny sparkles of fairies moving around on the wall or whatever you put it on. So I'm really impressed with this company. I've never seen anything quite like it. And people come when I had it out. I have pine trees in my backyard that jasmine is growing up the trunks of the trees. So you put one of these lights out, and it lights up all the jasmine and lights up the top of the trees. And the first time people see it, their jaws drop open. They're just like amazed. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I'm just poking around their website. It looks like they have indoor, professional, outdoor. So, I mean, if you work maybe for, setting up party decorations, things like that, they have a $1,500 rig set up that you could probably light up an entire area with, not just a tree or a room.
Right. But for a couple $100, I mean, their lights, like right now, and I don't know why there's such a price discrepancy, but QVC had the one light is $100, and on Amazon one light is $200. So near as I can tell, it's the same light. So I don't know what that discrepancy is, if the price is going up or down. But just for that price, it's amazing.
One just makes a bigger profit than the other.
Maybe. Maybe they just sell more, at one place than another. I don't know what that's about, but
although the only thing I think of it is on the actual website they do sell refurbished, so maybe it's refurbished versus
yeah, that could be. Yeah.
How can you have a refurbished LED? I mean, the LED.
I mean, slap a new battery in it and they're good to go. They're LEDs.
They last forever. They like 100 years or something. It's just.
Yeah, they fit. They're cool though.
We got Christmas lights this past year. That are all LEDs now, because it used to be you can only plug in like 3 strands, and that was the limitation. But with the LEDs, you can put up like you can daisy chain up to 20 strands of this thing without even a hiccup. And
the days of the houses burning down because old man Simmons wanted to put 30 incandescent strands together are gone, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they're so power efficient, Yet they put up this incredible light. Brilliant white light.
Well, I think people don't realize how far we've come in lighting. I mean, they know that LEDs are newer than incandescents, but when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot or someplace and you just look at the light bulbs, there are rows and rows of different types of light bulb now. So it's pretty amazing, the changes in lighting.
Yes, and they said eventually incandescents were not going to be available anymore.
Right.
The thing is with CFLs and and of course now with LEDs, they had a lot of limitations. For example, they weren't dimmable. Now you can get them dimmable,
Right.
and you also get them at different Kelvin ratings. So they don't have the LEDs. You don't have to get the brilliant white light. You can get 2600 Kelvin, which is like a warm, glow of an incandescent. Yet it's LED. So you can actually get the tone and the color as well with the different bulbs. And most importantly, the prices continue to come down.
Right.
You're not going to pay $20 or $30 for a bulb anymore. The prices are coming down to a more reasonable. And again, it's that one time you buy it, and then you never have to replace it again. That's the other beauty.
Not for a long time, anyway.
A really long time. It'll last you, so, I mean, the last 40, 50 years, even longer.
The only thing I can say about the lifespan is, I mean, for sure, they last a long time, but there is that fade. At least with incandescent, they provide whatever wattage, whatever.
And then they pop.
and then they pop, and then they break, and then they go out, and then they provide zero illumination. With LEDs, they taper off.
I think they've improved that. I don't think they taper
Right.
off. I think that they're getting to the point, Ben, where they just maintain their brightness throughout the life of the bulb, and then they die out. They keep improving them. But I'm still waiting for them. They haven't come out. They have different form factors, and they haven't come out for the form factor because we have some bulbs that are really hard to change. They're so way up. You have to get a 40-foot ladder to get to them. So those kind of bulbs, especially if you have bulbs like that in your household or whatever that are hard to reach, you might want to consider an LED bulb because then you don't have to worry about it ever again.
Yeah, that's true. The thing that was amazing to me was the number of vendors that were selling light bulbs at CES. Now, some of these were very specialized light bulbs, okay? A lot of them were with the home kits. So, in other words, they had light bulbs that you could control from your home for your whole home environment. There was one company, it was called Sengled, and they had light bulbs that were one bulb was a Wi-Fi extender.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a place in your house that you don't have a good Wi-Fi signal, you just put this light bulb in and it promotes the Wi-Fi signal. They had one that was had a microphone and speakers. I think it had a camera too, but basically you could have stereo light bulbs.
Oh,
I didn't
for your
actually hear
music.
them play, but
Okay.
but it was amazing. It was truly amazing. Philips was there with their Hue light bulbs, which are turn different colors, and you can control it all from your cell phone.
Yeah.
So, this was, and talk about mood lighting, like these that were played music and lights at the same time, so you could control the lighting and the music. You didn't have to worry about turning the lights down or turning the music up or whatever. That's pretty amazing.
See, that sounds like a really cool thing. I know we're talking. We were just talking about how they're putting technology into everything. Even light bulbs, even crock pots, even what have you. But I mean, that's actually cool because whole home, audio. Before you had to get it wired, and it was a multi-$1,000, kind of deal. But I mean, get enough of these light bulbs and put them in, and put them in the lamps all around your house, and you can get your whole house set up with, some kind of Wi-Fi sound system.
Yeah, it's totally amazing. And when you think about these whole house systems, and there were plenty of them out there, everybody from Belkin to Lowe's. Lowe's has one called Iris, which were everything in your house is connected. So your thermostat is connected and your TV is connected, everything's connected. Well, if you think about that, then you can sit there and at some point in time, these connected devices are going to be able to tell what kind of a mood you're in. So your television is going to say, "Hey, Ben, don't you think we should watch a comedy tonight?"
Mm-hmm. And then it tells the fridge what drink to pour, and it gets you your food, and home with future.
Yes, when you think about it, though, it's all a possibility now, and people are coming out with these things. As I said before, they're kind of throwing them against the wall to see what sticks. What are people really going to be interested in? And it was an amazing year at CES just because of that. All the possibilities are there right now. We just have to put it all together and see where it goes from here.
So, okay, so again, lots of light bulbs, lots of different pictures, and again, this Bliss Light's just one of many that are out there.
Yeah, Bliss Lights is really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And
it seems like a nice way, maybe if you're getting tired of going, climbing the house or hanging lights all around the yard. I mean, get one or two of these, and you could have, get your Christmas lights up in fraction.
Exactly. Just perfect.
Yeah. Well, and it certainly would be something different. Okay, so again, it's called Bliss Lights, and again, what do they sell for? Different prices?
They're between $100 and $200, and they're coming out with some new ones. They also had at the show, which were interior lights, and it actually displayed clouds on the ceiling. Now, if you've been to Vegas recently and you walk through some of these malls that actually show clouds, it's like when it rains inside, it shows clouds and lights and all that. So they have a light like this that's coming out before too long as well.
So now the idea here is that the Bliss Lights actually move. In other words,
well, they do. I don't think the light itself doesn't move, but the pinpoints of light that sparkle, as they sparkle in the trees or on the ceiling or whatever, they seem like they move. I'm not sure they actually do.
And it's just the one lamp gives you how many different little pinpoints of light?
One lamp is like 30 feet by 30 feet of coverage. So one light I could put on the front of my house and it would light up the whole front of the house.
Wow.
And go up onto the trees. It's amazing.
Just one light. You don't. It makes things so easy because
right. Like if you wanted to light up your whole house for Christmas, I would say, depending on the size of your house, of course, two on each side of the house, 2, 4, 6, 8, something like that, and it would take you about less than an hour to put up your Christmas lights.
Maybe we were doing it the wrong way now.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
See what they come up with next year.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's true.
Might be even better.
Even be better. All right. Listen. We're coming to the top of the hour break, so let me just pause for a moment with Sandy and just mention a couple things. Friday is the last day for our Logitech contest. So what you do is go to our under the Interact menu there at computeramerica.com. It says Enter Contests, and you'll see our Logitech contest where you can register. We have 3 great prizes that we're giving away. The 16th of January, that's this coming Friday at 12 midnight, it ends, right? So you still have time to go over to our Logitech contest page and get your entry in. It's really simple. The registration form is right there on the same page. Just put the info in, click the submit button, and there's an option there to put in comments. We always love to hear your comments, so why don't you put some comments in there too. And get your entry in, because I said at midnight Eastern Time we close it down. And then over the weekend we'll draw the 3 winning names, and then on Monday we'll announce the 3 big winners, and then we will start another Logitech contest. They run about 6 weeks long, but if you want to get it, you're going to have to wait another 6 weeks. So just do this now. Don't wait. Get your entry in now. And then also while you're there, check out our show reminder contest. Basically, you subscribe to our weekly email newsletter, the show reminder. And by the way, it's looking gorgeous now, thanks to Carissa Green for implementing that and making it happen. She's designed a really nice-looking show reminder newsletter.
Oddly enough, it's not all text-based like it used to be. Now it's actually, HTML5 and good-looking, spiffy.
Yeah, it's very spiffy. And all you have to do is go there and just sign up. Just put your email address, and you put your first and last name, and then hit the subscribe button. It'll send you a confirmation email to which you must respond, and once you do that, you're in. All right? Every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, you'll get the weekly email newsletter delivered into your email inbox. It is the only publication in the entire universe where you can find out who's going to be on the Computer America show for that week. Okay, and we also post our show reminder winner from Friday on that, because every Friday from the list of subscriber names we draw a winning name to win a really nice prize from Logitech, and currently it's a Logitech T650 rechargeable glass touchpad. That's right, the touchpad is made out of glass, and it's beautiful. It's valued at about $80, and it is, as I say, it's wireless, works with your Windows machine. It's just a really nice glass touchpad. Full control, gesture controls, works with Windows 8 really well. It understands the different Windows gestures. And so get your entry into all. Go to all our contest page. Sign up for all of our contests. They're all free. There's no obligation. And they're all private. We don't give out your information to anybody. Really, we don't. It's confidential. And then at the end of it, the winners, we give the contact information to Logitech so they can mail them the prize. But that's it. Other than that, it's completely confidential. And then we just throw the names out and we just start all over again. Okay, so head over to computeramerica.com. Now, with the show reminder, one other thing is that it's new. This is the second week we're using the new one. If for some reason you haven't been getting the show reminder, your name may have fallen off the list. We tried to import everybody over, but it's possible that some may have fallen through the cracks. And if you're one of them, or if you're not sure, just put your email address in there and click the subscribe button. If you are already subscribed, it will tell you, sorry, hey, we already have you, so you don't have to worry about it, okay? And then if you're not getting it, you might want to check your spam filter, okay? But if not, it'll register you, and then you're in. It's just that simple. All right, we're going to have another hour of the Computer America show coming up here on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network, on the Blog Talk Radio Network. Sandy Berger is here with us for the next remaining hour. You're listening to the Computer America show. We're going to be right back. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And Ben is now in at a remote location. He's in Florida, and
if Florida is remote to you, then yes.
Yes, it is. And of course, they were being really mean to me because they're going to all my favorite restaurants, and they're sending me pictures of the food from the different restaurants. I got a text. So
that's what we do. We
yeah.
we like to hold the stick out for Craig. You know, show him the treat, but give him the stick.
That's it, exactly. If you're just joining us, Sandy Berger is here with us. She is our consumer electronics expert. And if you're watching the video, our apologies because Sandy's having a little internet connection problem, and hopefully we can figure out what that is. But you can certainly hear her, and you can look at her lovely picture up on our video. You can see that. And we're going to continue on with her. She's our consumer electronics expert. And again, if you want to follow along, you certainly can. Just go to our show notes page and click on the cheat notes under today's show, January the 14th. And you can follow along everything that we're talking about. Now, in this hour, we're going to start off with something called the Quit, K-W-I-T.
K-W-I-L-T.
Oh, the quilt. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's the quilt. All right. Now,
I wonder what it's going to be about.
Yeah, my wife is into quilting, so she might find this interesting. All right. What is?
Well, it's called Quilt because it's a photo application.
Ah.
Okay, and the main thing that it does very, very well is it actually makes collages.
Oh.
So it puts all your pictures together into a collage. And if you're looking at the show notes, You can click on where I put CES 2015 show floor notes.
Yeah, for heights. Yeah.
Okay, that actually will take you to an article that I wrote for Breaking Modern, which is a newer website that I've been writing for. And it's all about what I saw on the show floor at CES. But what you see there is you see the quilts that I made.
Oh yeah, look at that. I'm saying.
So basically, I went around and, the things that they had at CES, they had so many of certain things like Bluetooth speakers, all sorts of audio speakers, and I just went around and took like 10 or 12 pictures, and then I used this app on my iPhone, and it is right now it's iPhone only, but I used it on my iPhone, and it took like 30 seconds to make this collage of pictures, and if you're looking at it, Craig, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Very cool. You got all different cars, and you had different. That you ran a little theme, all the different things that you were doing, and you made it into this little collage of pictures at one time. Very, very slick.
Yeah, and the app is actually quite well done. You can actually go in there, and it will pull your pictures from wherever you have them. So if you have pictures on your iPhone, it'll pull those. If you have pictures in Facebook, it'll pull your friends' pictures in, and from all these social media apps, pulls all your pictures together. And then if you want to make a collage, you just pick them out and say which ones you want, and it'll kind of sew them all together for you.
Very, very cool. And now, how much is this? What's the?
The app is free. As I said, it's iPhone only right now. I believe they're probably going to have an Android application. They're going to be adding in-app purchases, and they think they have some already where you can do bigger pictures. That this will handle most all pictures, but you can do bigger pictures. The other thing that you can do with this is you can actually edit each of the photos. So it's a mini photo editor as well. It's pretty impressive. The one thing that if you're looking at the collage that I did, it is labeled with quilt on the bottom, and so I asked the representative, "Can you get rid of that?" Because I'd like to do a collage. I definitely give them credit for it, but I don't want the quilt on there.
Yeah, but watermarking.
Yeah, watermark. Thank you. So anyway, he said that's something they're working on. That they're going to. It'll be an in-app purchase to get rid of that. So maybe a couple dollars, you'll be able to get rid of the watermark.
Yeah, probably some kind of pro feature, but. This seems like the kind of thing, though, that CES is full of a lot of companies. Not all of them are for the consumers themselves. I mean, it also goes, companies go there to introduce themselves to other companies. So
Right.
This seems like something that might be, maybe they're hoping Facebook picks them up, or something along those lines. Because it seems like a neat feature, but maybe Instagram would like something like this.
Right. Exactly. I mean, there's definitely a future for this company, in my opinion, anyway, because they've done it right. They've made it easy to use, and they've given all these different features that you can't find in everything in every photo app.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool.
Listen, we're batting 1,000 with your audio. Why don't you try turning your camera back on? Let's see if we can see you now. Because
Okay. Well, wait. I gotta find you guys. Oh, you're gone. Oh, you're here someplace, aren't you?
yeah, just at the top there.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
All right. So anyhow, and again, this is a free app, and you find so many free apps these days, and then at least they start off, and then if you want to add more features, it's not unusual to find they charge you an additional little fee to take advantage of those features.
And I'm always happy to pay that if it's an app like this that I know I'm going to use. I don't mind paying a couple dollars for the add-on features. I think that's a great way to do it.
Yep. All right, turn your camera off again. It's not working.
Greg, you flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, it was. Well, we tried.
Oh, well, I tried.
Yeah, you tried. Anyway, Now you mentioned briefly that you write for this other publication, and tell us a little bit about that. And what is it that you do there? The breaking.
It's called breakingmodern.com,
Yeah, exactly.
and the website is. I guess it's really a techie kind of website, which is amazing to me because I've written for everything from AARP to 20-something techie sites.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten around with that. But I wrote quite a few articles for them for CES. And it's really a nice website if you have time to go there. Very, very well done. Just modern looking and great content. They've got some fantastic writers there.
Hey, if they've got you writing for them, that must be well done. So that's it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, so there again, it's called Quilt, KWILT, and
actually, real quick, it's weird. This is the second time it's come up is AARP, even though you associate it with just whatever the elderly are up to, but I mean, one of our other correspondents, Dick DiBartolo, he was recently interviewed by AARP, and he's like, "Why would I want to do that?" And they have the largest circulation of any magazine or any publication.
That's right. They have two publications, the Bulletin and their newspaper, and you're right, they have the biggest publications that circulation-wise anyway. I wrote for AARP for 8 years. I did their computers and technology website for that long and provided all the content for it. And that's when they were just starting their website. Everybody was just starting websites. So it was really great because that's how my CompuKISS website actually came about, because I was trying to keep it short and simple. I was trying to write for older people who didn't understand technology because it was brand new to all of them. And I'll tell you, in those 8 years, we went from people who were taking a mouse and putting it up on the screen because they thought that's what they should do with it, to people who were, really doing well, using the computer, using all this technology. And although you tend to think that older people today don't use that much technology, they really do. They've learned a lot over the years.
Yeah, well, and this quote-unquote older people, we're getting to a point now, the generation is dying off where it's getting to the point where many people now...
Maybe you shouldn't bust into the conversation. Well, at least they're dying.
I don't think he meant it that way.
I mean, of course, it's getting to the point now that even when they were computers are around for so long that it's getting to the point where it's just so pervasive that it affects everybody's life now. It's not like if you were born in the 1800s and nobody knew what a computer was. Now we're getting to the point now where it's.
You can't keep your head in the sand anymore. And luckily, it seems like the elderly, a lot of them are embracing it. They're not hiding from it. So
that's right, and they're embracing it because they either want to or because they have to. But you're right. There's so much technology now, and I'll tell you. I write a column every week in our local newspaper, and I started writing that probably about 13 years ago. And at that time, the newspaper had a new editor, and he was kind of skeptical of technology at the time, and he said, what could you write about? You want to write every week? What could you write about? And he threw me a yellow pad and a pencil, and when he said, well, write down things you could write about. And when I got to the second page, he said, okay, you got the job. You can do it. But today, if somebody handed me a yellow pad and said, write what you could write about, I'd be writing for the next year just with topics.
Seriously. Yeah.
Because, as you say, technology has become so pervasive that, it's unbelievable, really.
If somebody handed me a yellow pad, I wouldn't know what that is. What do you want?
I guess number one would be PDA and/or laptop and/or tablet to replace this thing I'm writing on.
Yeah, exactly.
We hit around on this, but actually, this I'll never forget the experience. I'm a newspaper columnist, and at one time I had to write a newspaper column. Just the one time, and I couldn't have access to my computer, and I had to write a column.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a pad and pencil, paper to write it down. And as I started writing it, I realized, this is not easy. It's not like it used to be. I hadn't written so long, I started.
Were you holding the pen like it was a live snake and just like?
It just struck me that I couldn't be as creative as I am with the keyboard as with the pen. I couldn't get the information down fast enough.
Well, that's just because of what you're used to, but yeah, I can certainly understand that.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, I don't. We're talking about computers and older and newer generation. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but I just saw the movie The Imitation Game, which is about the story of Alan Turing. And
really?
Yeah, it's just a marvelous movie. Talked about his efforts to crack the Enigma machine. You ought to go see it. It's amazing, and it shows you how he invented a computer to deal with it, because if people couldn't do it, they only had 12 hours to crack it before they would change the code again, and people just couldn't do it fast enough. So he actually invented a digital computer, built it from scratch. It was really one of the first, and he actually designed it to do that. And it's an amazing movie. And the story behind the story is really interesting. But so if you get a chance to watch it, I recommend it to everybody. Go read it. Alan Turing. So and there's a lot of things that I didn't know about him and his efforts in the war that are revealed in this movie. And the fact that they kept things secret for like 50 years after they had done it, information, it was just amazing.
What was the name of the movie?
The Imitation Game.
Okay, I have to go see that.
Go see it. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. And the actor, the stars, I'm blocking his name. I'll think of him in a moment here. He's been in many movies. He's a very, very good actor, and but definitely you need to see it. Okay, so let's continue on. So. Let's focus now. You have some other stories here about trends for 2015, and
right. I have quite a few stories that I've posted on my CompuKiss website, and I invite you all to take a look at that. And the first one that I've listed on the show notes is trends for 2015, and those are the trends that I saw at CES.
What trends did you see?
Well, we've already talked about the connected home.
Yeah.
Whether it's the toothbrush or your light bulbs or whatever that's connected. Mm-hmm. Wearable tech and health-related tech was really big. Just tons of wristbands, little lapel pins, everything from count your steps to monitoring your sleep. I think that the next year is going to be a big shakeout for that sort of technology. And when the Apple Watch is released, we're going to see a lot more action there.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think that from what I saw the Apple Watch, it's going to be pretty spectacular.
Are you going to get one?
I am definitely going to get one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things I don't think I could resist.
Well, it's they have a man's one and they have the women's version available too.
That's one of the things that turned me on about it, is that they had really design-wise thought through the whole thing. Which kind of watch would a man want to wear? How big of one would a woman want to wear? And everything about the watch that they showed when they announced it seemed well designed and well thought out. So I'm very interested in that. And I'm also interested in seeing how all these other companies react when that actually comes out, what they do.
Well, Tim Cook at the keynote said this required some deep thinking in this watch. And the way that it works, because and the digital crown, so your fingers don't cover the screen with the pinching, because you can't see anything. You use the digital crown.
Right.
The screen is also pressure sensitive, so you can push down onto the screen. There's a lot of interesting. My one thought is that you're using a small enough screen as it is now. But if you get the woman's version, it's going to be even a smaller screen. You think?
Well, those are the things we have to see when we actually start using it. It could be that I get one of these and I don't like it.
Okay.
They could be that nobody will like it, or that could be wildly popular. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly.
But one way or the other, wearable tech and health-related devices are going to be big this year. The other thing I talked about was drones. there were probably 100 different types of drones there.
They just keep droning on about them.
Yeah. Well, you know, we talked earlier about sensors and how they're building sensors into everything.
Mhm.
Drones are very similar in that they're trying to figure out what to do with these drones. They have these fantastic little flying devices that take beautiful pictures, pictures of things that you couldn't get otherwise. But now we have to find what we can do with them and how they fit into our everyday lives.
Did you see the movie, the video that was on YouTube about the guy took a drone and flew it through the fireworks display at West Palm Beach over the intercoastal, and that was the most impressive, breathtaking video I've ever seen of actually flying through these major. They do it on the 4th of July. They spend, the chamber, the West Palm Beach spends a fortune on it, and they're on these large barges, and he was just flying this thing through it, and they put it to music. It was, I don't know if you have seen it, but it's still up there. I'm sure you can catch it. You know?
I haven't seen it. I'll have to take a look at that.
I guess go to YouTube and look for West Palm Beach drone fireworks.
Okay.
I think actually GoPro, because it was filmed with a drone. It was actually pretty expensive one. I think the drone he used was like $1,500. You know, definitely a hobbyist.
Mm-hmm.
And then he strapped a GoPro to the nose of this thing and it flew. And oddly enough, you know, when you have $2,000 worth of equipment, why not send it into fireworks, which are essentially mortars, you know, and potentially destroy it? But I mean, he got some good video, so.
You got
Well,
yeah.
yeah, they're going to find better. Well, not that that's not a good use for it. Obviously, they made a spectacular video.
Yeah.
But they're going to find more and more uses for these. I mean, and it's probably not going to be Amazon delivering things by drones, at least not right away.
We saw something in the news where was it lifeguards that they would use a drone to get a life preserver out to a drowning person. We using a drone, it would just drop it over and it would inflate, it would get the life preserver to them much more quickly than the lifeguard that's sitting out there, so he could at least get something out to them.
Exactly. I mean, there are bound to be a lot of areas where we can use these drones that they'd be very beneficial to people, but that's what everybody's looking for right now, is ways what to do with them.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be many, many, many uses.
Yeah.
I thought that was a novel idea, just dropping out a life preserver to a.
Right, that's a good idea.
Yep. Exactly.
3D printing was the next trend that I kind of wrote about. And of course, that has gotten hot and heavy in the past year. They've come up with so many new things that they're doing with 3D printing. Everything from creating organs to, body organs.
Yeah.
To just printing in chocolate, or icing or cake or whatever. So they had a lot of 3D printers at CES this year. Many of them, the prices have come down. This is the year probably that you'll see some in homes, not a lot. But I did talk to a girl there that she bought a printer, a 3D printer, and started making shower heads and selling them on Etsy.
Yeah.
And she's just doing it. I mean, there's, I guess, a lot of stories of things like that you can do with these 3D printers now.
I think I know the exact person you're talking about, and I've seen her shower heads because they've become kind of popular.
Yeah.
And she's made like dragon heads and T-Rex shower heads and things like that. Like the skull of a T-Rex. I mean, just it's not that 3D printers are useless. I mean, like the hardest part about 3D printers catching on is convincing people that this is something they should have in their home. But the possibilities for a 3D printer are vast. I mean, you could do whatever you want with a 3D printer.
Right,
So.
and now what I saw this year that I didn't see last year it was mostly printing in plastic. They used all plastic, but this year they had filaments that they were still plasticky materials, but they used filaments in the plastic so that it had the look and feel of copper or brass or
Really?
bamboo. And you picked it up and you felt it, and it's like, wow, this seems pretty realistic, So they're making tons of things with 3D printing, and it's going to continue to be really big in the next year as well.
They printed a trachea for a baby. 3D.
Yeah.
You did that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, health related 3D printing is of course going to continue to be big. It already is.
And arteries, yeah, they're actually they're not yet at the actual functioning organ yet, but obviously with the precision and the detail that you can, I mean, I can't imagine printing out kidneys. I mean, all a kidney is a series of tubes, like the internet, and
Maybe
That was a good one, Craig.
maybe that's all people are, just a series of tubes.
exactly. So I can't. I instead of having to wait around for for a donor, they could take your DNA, and material and print out, a 3D kidney. I mean, they're saying it's not too far off.
You're right. I mean, I think with the way they can handle DNA now and the prototypes that they can do, it won't be long before we'll be in Star Trek land as far as health goes.
I can't wait till we get there.
Mm.
Okay, so the next thing you saw, not surprisingly, are TVs. I mean, they're huge.
Well, it probably should have been should have put that as the first thing I saw, because when you walked into the show floor, that's the main thing that you saw was TVs. Samsung, LG, Panasonic, everybody had 4K or what they're calling Ultra TVs. Now, have you seen some of those, Craig?
I have not. I've not seen them in the flesh, but I understand that they are amazing.
They are amazing.
I need to go to an HH Meg here or a Best Buy and just go in there and take a look.
I think I've seen the UHDs, and they're, I mean, where standard is the high def, I mean, UHDs are crazy.
Our Best Buy here locally, and I live in Pinehurst, which is a small area, but they have an LG OLED 4K TV on display.
How did it look?
Fantastic.
Really?
And at the show, when you're looking at 100-inch screens and 4K and all this new technology, you're thinking, oh, I just got a new TV about 4 years ago. I really don't need a new one. But you're going to want a new one because the pictures are so spectacular.
Yeah, but the concern is, and we've talked about this before, is that there's no content out there that's 4K. But you can use the upscaling feature, I think, and that's. But you don't actually have much 4K out there.
Well, that's changing too, and most of the 4K that they're talking about is in the content is streaming content. So it's stuff that's being put out by Netflix, Amazon, of course, Sony, and others, but most of it is going to be streaming content.
Wow.
Which is also amazing. The thing is about these 4K TVs right now, Samsung has their own, they're calling it SUHD TV.
Mm-hmm.
LG is kind of relying on the OLED screens where Samsung isn't, but they all have
Quantum dot?
Quantum dot, exactly. And each quantum dot technology is different from manufacturer to manufacturer.
Really?
So LG's is done differently than Samsung's, and those are the two leaders in this quantum dot thing. And I would love to see them side by side. I mean, in the booths, they look spectacular. Both of them look spectacular. I couldn't tell which one was better. But there's still some tweaking to go through for these 4K TVs. And when I say that, I mean what's happened in the past year is Amazon has come out with some 4K content, but some people found that they had purchased 4K TVs that didn't have the right codecs, so they couldn't watch Amazon stuff.
Oh.
And what they announced at CES this year is that they're having standards. They're creating I think they're calling it Ultra TV Consortium, and all the major manufacturers are going together on this, and there will be standards set for it.
Yeah, but I hope
it's amazing this hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before, with the VHS and Betamax and
right
and DVD and Blu-ray, and then they had the HD,
yeah,
DVD, HD DVD and Blu-ray went out.
Right, and I don't think there's a big contest here as far as like two competing things like Betamax and VHS, or I don't think that's it. I think that everybody just needs to get on the same wavelength, and this consortium putting it all together, they'll do standards, and then when you buy a 4K TV, you're gonna know that you can play content from Amazon or from Netflix or from wherever. And that's probably not going to happen until the second half of the year.
Why not just make them downloadable? In other words, that they come up with the codec, you have to buy a new TV. Just the TV will go online and download the codec that it needs.
Well, I don't know. There is so much technology in these TVs. With the quantum dots and all this other stuff. There's so much new technology in these TVs, and that's the other thing that's going to be actually difficult for people, I think, to compare the TVs. It's going to be, okay, this manufacturer does it this way, this one does it this way, which one looks better? Then you've got the other end of it, which is the smart TVs. These are all smart 4K TVs. They're all going to be smart TVs, internet-connected TVs, but each company has their own interface. So Pioneer, I think it was Pioneer, decided to go with a Firefox. They're going to have Firefox do their interface. Tizen is with Samsung's interface. LG has WebOS, which they've actually improved since last year. It looked really good this year. But each interface is different. So you not only have to now look at the TV, you have to look at the technology, which is different, and you have to look at the internet interface, which is different, to decide which TV you want to buy.
Wow.
Good luck, people.
Yeah.
It is getting more as wonderful as these TVs are, and as detailed. Colors are fantastic. Pictures are great. And I'm not saying any of the interfaces are bad. It's just that making a decision will be harder than ever before.
All right. Well, you're listening to the Computer America Show on the IRN Radio Network, the Blog Talk Radio Network, the Boost Radio Network. When we come back, Sandy Berger, we're going to talk about automated vehicles, some of the other things you saw out at CES. Another news tip bulletin review from Marty Winston. Stay with us. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number. 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
I've been expecting you. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Sengled Pulse LED speaker. Sometimes the early entries in a category get enough things wrong that you think the category itself is a non-starter. But then when you least expect it, a new product gets it so right that you end up just grinning. That's what happened to us with the Pulse LED speaker by Sengled. It comes with a master unit and a satellite, each shaped enough like a BR30 flood lamp that it fits most places those bulbs go. As a 2700 degree Kelvin warm white LED, each is good for 600 lumens in a directed 105 degree pattern. An amplified speaker inside delivers 13 watts of audio per channel, enough for most residential rooms. Bluetooth 2.1 EDR makes it compatible with many sources, and an app offers handset or tablet control of volume and brightness, as well as a variety of equalization presets. Bottom line, the Sengled Pulse LED speaker fits stereo sound behind bright floodlights that fit almost any BR30 fixture. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
33 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Thanks to Marty Winston for that excellent News Tip Bulletin Review. We're going to have 2 new ones next week. We have 2 new ones every single week. And Ben and I are talking to Sandy Berger, and she's talking about all the different things that she saw out at the Consumer Electronics Show, and we're kind of finishing up with the TVs, 4K Ultra TVs, and quantum dots, and 25 years ago, did you ever think that TVs were going to get so complicated, complex?
Well, I never even thought about color TVs when we had black and white TVs. So
I remember black and white. Yes,
long time ago.
This program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Right.
And a little peacock would open,
Yeah. Before we go any farther, I want to tell you that Marty Winston, what he was talking about, that he called an LED speaker by Sengled.
Yes.
That's the LED light bulb I was talking about. I
Right.
call it a light bulb because it looks like a light bulb, and its main function is light, but it is also a speaker. So that was pretty amazing.
Very cool. All right. And so because you have the receptacle, it has the AC power, and they're making them Bluetooth connected. They're doing all this stuff, and with the light bulb.
Yep, really neat stuff.
Listen, Sandy, we got a caller. His name is Jason, and he is listening to us out in Michigan. He's got a question about TVs for you. Computer Crossman. Hey, Jason.
Oh, how's it going this evening?
Doing fine. What's your question?
I was looking at getting a large TV, probably about 50 inches, and I was trying to decide which would probably be better for me to go for. I was thinking LED, but someone told me LCD had better display, but I'm not sure.
Well, right now the LEDs, are very, very good. Are you looking at purchasing it right away, or is there any necessity, or could you wait a year?
I can purchase it, but like I'd heard one had like almost twice as long a lifespan as the other or something. I wasn't sure about, was that true or no?
Yes, you have to look at the lifespan of these things. The one that uses the least amount of power and has the longest lifespan is the OLED, which right now LG is behind the OLED. I think they're the only ones that are manufacturing them. If you just take a look at that, those are fantastic, fantastic screens.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So you might want to look at, you might want to look at the OLED screen.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you might want to look at Sandy's right. You might want to take a look at the OLED screens. That's from Samsung, correct? Yeah.
No, from LG.
From LG, yes, from LG. Just go take a look at it, and I think seeing is believing. You're going to look at that, and they're priced competitively, so you might want to go for something like that. The best way is just go and take a look and see what pleases your eye the best.
That's right, and
that's going to be very good. That's going to be very good quality picture, right? Like yes. I can watch chimps get slaughtered by hand grenades with that, and that's kind of something I'm streaming online. I'm part of a group that deals with South Americans. We gather customers here, and we send the money down there. They send us footage of chimps throwing hand grenades.
That's a weird one.
Okay.
Anyways,
all the new TVs, you're going to see details. If you go with something like 4K, this Ultra TVs, the details are spectacular. I mean,
Yeah, check out.
Now let me give you a hint on the possible future trend of the consumer market. Money on chimps throwing hand grenades at each other.
Okay.
Anyways, we're dropping, but the base of the question, between LCD, OLED, what have you. I mean, the newer technology is obviously going to give you the better picture, but I think for the price wise, and for what you're spending, TVs seem really competitive, between LCD, OLED, what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, go to the stores and check them out for yourself. It's and see what's pleasing to your eye. Something obviously the one that stands out. But be careful because TV dealers do all kinds of tricks. They'll put it on their settings that brilliant, and they'll put on these different accelerated kind of displays. Make sure that it's set to the normal display, and try to compare them all at the same setting. That's what you want to do, basically. They might want because a lot of times TV dealers will try to push what they need to push, and they may crank up the specs of that TV and leave the other ones normal, and so it's going to stand out more. So just be a little bit more of a savvy consumer and make sure that you're looking at everything on equal ground. So that's all I'm saying there.
Okay. Good luck, Jason.
Yeah, and okay, so let's talk about automated vehicles because they were big at CES too, right?
Yeah, well, we've already talked about the Volkswagen, the Golf Touch, which was something they're coming out with now. But a lot of these cars are the concept cars anyway, are coming out with parking assist and all sorts of things like that. The internet connectivity is a given today with the new cars. They're just doing more and more technology in cars, and in a way it's kind of scary, because in my opinion there's enough things to go wrong with cars without putting all the technology into it, and yet it's all for your convenience.
Right.
Boy, are you telling me you don't want to take your car into your dealership and have them fix a software problem? I mean, that can't cost that much. Sarcasm.
I drive a Volkswagen Beetle, which is a 2002 model, and I hope to be driving that for quite a while, actually, unless somebody wants to give me one of these brand new cars.
Got it.
See, that's what I'm hoping. Ben's car timeline is I'm hoping that the car that I have right now will last me another 5 years minimum, hopefully 6, and then by that time, self-driving cars, autonomous cars, the cars that drive themselves, not so much that are connected to the internet, because I mean, sure, that seems handy, but I mean, it's at least to me, I can't help but think it's kind of a gimmick. It's like, sure, you can stream kind of whatever audio you want. You could, do a plethora of things with internet-connected devices. But I think car technology is really gonna, explode as soon as you start getting those self-driving cars on the road.
Oh, you're absolutely right, and so keep the car you've got for the next 5 years, and that's what I plan on doing as well.
Well, now the next article here is, and again, you've seen a lot of this at CES, is turning your TV into a computer.
Oh, that was unbelievable, actually.
Okay.
This is Intel. Intel has come out with something they are calling the Compute Stick. I hope before they actually release it, they find a new name, because I thought Compute Stick was.
Come on! Someone put a solid 3 minutes of thinking into that.
No, that's the thing. They do all these groups and all this research to come up with the name, and they come up with the name Compute Stick. Okay, all right, we'll let that go. Okay.
Because they're going to be on next Wednesday, we can ask them about that.
Okay, would you ask them, please?
I don't know why you called it the Compute Stick.
Are you open to changing? Yeah.
Yes, are you open to change before?
Okay.
This is supposed to come out next quarter, and it is a little USB drive, which is the same size as a Chromecast.
Okay.
So we're talking 3 inches by an inch or something like that, just
Very
a stick.
Yeah.
and you put it in the HDMI port of your TV, and it is supposed to turn it into a Windows 8.1 or a Linux computer.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, it's 4 inches long. They did give me a thing here that says 4 inches long. Packs the power and reliability of a quad-core Intel Atom processor, built-in wireless, onboard storage, and a micro SD slot for additional storage.
You can hear all of the Linux fans. If you listen closely to the night sky, it's all of the Linux fans out there saying, "Finally, Linux getting some
Linux, and the Linux is going to be less expensive." Now, that was the other thing. The price that they announced was $149. For the Windows, I think the Linux was $99.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Now, can you imagine a whole computer? I mean, other than the monitor is what they're saying, that you're going to plug it in, the TV is going to be your monitor. It's pretty unbelievable. But I can't wait to see it. They did not have one at the show that I saw, but they did make an announcement on it. So.
I mean, sorry if I already said this and I just missed it. What's going to be the interface for this? Is it going to be, you know, a smartphone and you're going to connect to it through that? I mean, is it going to come with a keyboard, like a wireless keyboard? How are you going to
How are you going to use it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're getting suggestions for names in the chat room. We got the CompuStick.
What is it?
CompuStick. The iStick. Stickorama.
Stickorama. Okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. How about stick it to your TV? That's all one word.
Stick it to your TV.
These are good names.
Good chat room.
Okay. All right. We'll suggest these to Intel.
Well, when you get Intel on, ask them about this because they really didn't give a lot of information. So how are you actually going to interact with this compute stick? Would be really, I'd love to know all the details of it. But they're saying it's going to come out this year.
Okay. And it's not like the Chromecast. This is not another Chromecast wannabe. This is basically to display, to convert your TV into a
computer. Yeah.
That is very cool.
And Chromecast did announce at the show that they were going to be doing audio through the Chromecast. So you could now use your Chromecast, I guess, to do music as well. So Chromecast continues to
that's the beautiful thing.
New features.
Yeah, and without having to buy another Chromecast, it's completely they upgrade it with software. It's just amazing. It's an amazing little product. It continues to get better and better.
Right, exactly. So interesting.
All right, so now here's another one, and you touched upon it briefly at CES, but I want you to talk about is TV programming a la carte, because I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
And these articles that we're talking about are all on the CompuKIS website if anybody wants to go there and read them.
Yep. Okay.
So you can look for that. This is something that I thought was a real game changer at that announcement that they made at CES. And this was called Sling Television. And it's by Dish Network.
Okay.
Basically, they're offering for $20 a month. There's no commitment. You can cancel at any time. No, no satellite box or cable box necessary. But for $20 a month, you get, I think there's, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different channels. And the important thing about that is that ESPN and ESPN2 are two of the channels. Other channels are Disney, ABC Family, Food, HGTV, CNN, TBS, those sort of things. The reason ESPN is so important here is that there are very, very few sports channels that are streamed anywhere. So they're providing the two major sport channels here. This is what they're going to do is they're going to be able to play this. It's all streaming. So if you have an Amazon Fire TV or an Xbox One or a Roku, or if you have a smart TV that can accept this, I think LG and Samsung's will both, the newer TVs will accept this. You have an iOS device or an Android device or a Mac or a PC, any of those can be used to stream this.
Yeah.
So, you know, like we talked about, although Chromecast is not on their list yet, I'm sure it will be, but the Amazon Fire TV is the TV stick is a, what, $49 device. So for a $49 investment in hardware, which will allow you to stream other things as well, you can get a dozen channels. It's kind of the start of a la carte television.
Which is the dream.
Yeah, I mean, because I've got so many things now, you know, I that I don't watch. You know, ESPN, all that stuff. I don't watch.
Not only that you don't watch them, Craig. They gave you this neat little feature that lets you block it from the guide. You don't even see it.
I know, and I don't. I don't even see it. But the point is, I'm still paying for it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And what Sandy's talking about is a la carte. You just pick the channels that you want and only pay for the ones that you want to watch. And I think that might be good. But you have to be careful, because if you do too many of them, you might wind up paying more than what you did with a package deal. You have to be careful. It's like anything else. I mean, you can go, you get Netflix, and then you can get Hulu Plus. You can pay for those, and then you can start getting ABC on demand and CBS on demand and NBC on demand. And before you're doing that, they're only like $4 or $5 or $6 a month, but they add up. You get 5, 10 of these things.
Right.
Spending a lot of money, more than what you might have done with DirecTV or something.
Yeah, well, maybe and maybe not. So they're announcing that there's going to be add-on packs available for $5 extra a month. Mm-hmm. And the kids' extra add-on pack will have Disney Junior, Disney XD, Boomerang, Baby TV, and Duck TV.
Okay.
Then there'll be another news and info, which is HLN, Cooking Channel, DIY, and Bloomberg.
What's on Duck TV?
I don't know what's on Baby TV either.
They're little development shows, like like color, shapes, that kind of thing. It's not as entertaining when you're they're little shows that are safe to leave the TV on with your 2-year-old running around.
Okay, Jonathan just came up with another name for the Intel stick. He wants to call it Stickalonian.
Stickalonian. Okay. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. Continue.
Anyway, I met the CEO of Dish Network while I was there, and his main statement that he made to me is, at Dish Network, we like change. And I thought that was a great statement, because this Sling TV changes everything. I think it's a real game changer for the whole cable industry. I mean, there's tons of people out there that are getting 300 or 400 channels, and they only watch 10 channels.
Yeah, really.
Now this is maybe not giving them exactly what they want, but when the competition starts and other people come out with their versions of this and make their deals, which obviously they have to make deals for all of these channels, I think it'll be really a neat thing to be able to pick and choose what you want.
Yeah, and if they can keep it price competitive, that's the magic thing.
And the other thing, I think, when you get your dozen channels or whatever, there'll be stations that are going to want to come in and get you to watch them. And so they'll do what they do on TV now, is give you a month free. Try out this channel. And it would be a new way to try new channels and new TV stations a little bit at a time. Where right now we're inundated with all these 300 channels. But you don't watch anything.
But would you get local programming though? Local news?
Well, I think that they haven't gotten to that point yet. Obviously, every time they add something to this, they have to make a deal with the companies. Like Dish Network just had a problem with what was it, CBS or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, where they couldn't come to grips with how much they were going to pay for Fox and how much they were going to pay for CBS or whatever. So there's going to be constantly deals made, and as other networks, other cable providers get involved with this, it'll be fascinating to see what kind of deals are made and what they can actually come up with and where we wind up at the end. Hopefully we wind up with being able to choose our own stations and just watch what we want to watch.
Yep.
I hope so. Now, we're getting toward the end here, and I think one of your last stories here was CES 2015. It's a wrap with everything you need to know, and I think we covered some of a lot of things that we covered about here. But the stories that we talked about, what I'm trying to say, you had the connected home, wearable health. Now, we didn't talk about cameras, though. What did you see in cameras out there? Sandy? Oops, you muted yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, she muted herself for some reason. Sandy, are you there? She's
something might happen to Sandy. We'll send out a search party immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let me see if we can unmute her. You can do that, right? You have the control room. Let's see if we can unmute her.
I don't believe I can.
I think I can. Okay, I can unmute here. Okay, let me see if I can unmute her. I'm clicking the unmute button, and
am I unmuted?
There you go.
You're unmuted.
All right. Thank you, guys, because I lost you.
Yeah, we're back.
I have so many things open on my computer that I lost you.
So anyway, we're talking. One thing that we haven't talked about. We talked a little about the GoPro, but cameras in this last article is something that we really haven't talked about. I mean, we're still plenty of cameras out there.
Plenty of cameras out there, all trying new things, and of course, cameras on cell phones. We're still big. Well, like we just talked about.
The dash cam.
Yeah, the dash cams were really big, and they're developing new ways to use these cameras, like the GoCam, the dash cams. The dash cameras are really cool because they have these sensors that know when there's a G-force, when there's an accident, something happens,
sure.
And the dash cams come on immediately. And the new dash cams are even better in that when something like that happens, they feel like there's been an accident, then that video that was taken becomes impressed so that they can't be erased.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because most of these dash cams just keep going on, and the oldest things get erased and the newer things go on there.
That's not good.
But yeah, they've got sensors, special sensors, so that if there's an accident, it can't be erased, which is really, really neat stuff. So in many cases, you still have your photographers and your photo enthusiasts that will always go for your DSL cameras and the big cameras and all that. All that's still out there, but they're inventing new ways to do things with cameras, like these Go cameras that we talked about, activity cameras, dash cams, all that.
But still, I think the bottom line is that cameras are becoming so spectacular on our smartphones that unless you're a professional photographer, there's almost no reason to carry an extra camera anymore. I mean, just the other day I was looking at an image outside that we had outside the window here, and we had this big cloud that had fallen down into the valley, and it looked like a big cotton ball. And I took a picture of it, and I realized, let me use the panoramic vision. And then when the panoramic image was just spectacular of that, And I could do it all amazing. Yeah.
I know. We started off CES. I had my little, well, it's not so little, but the iPhone 6 Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I took that is I had some other Android phones which also take good pictures. But the 6 Plus has that image stabilization.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Which is really nice. I love the camera on that thing. So I started off taking pictures with that, and my husband was taking pictures with his big Nikon. No, he had his Canon camera.
Okay.
Okay, so a very high quality Canon camera. And at the end of the day, we compared the pictures, and they were all good enough to put on the websites.
Wow.
The cell phone camera and the big camera, and I can't say that his pictures were better than mine, but they were all adequate for the job.
Yeah, exactly.
And so for the next couple days, I took most of the pictures with my cell phone. And the pictures that you looked at, Craig, the ones for the collage that I did, were all taken with my iPhone.
iPhone Plus. Well, Sandy, we're pretty much out of time here.
Okay.
But I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for unmuting me.
Yeah, yeah.
Anytime.
I'm sorry that I did that.
And hopefully we can figure out what's going on with your internet connection, maybe, and so we can get your video back.
Might just be a busy time.
Might be just a busy time, but maybe they might be able to do something. I know with mine, with Charter, they said there was something. I have 100 megabits per second, but he said, your overhead is down low, and you're not really getting everything truly. And he said, I'm going to fix that, and I actually got a better throughput. Even though it was the same 100 megabits per second, he was able to do something to give it more overhead, so I got more connection. So maybe
it's definitely the connection, and I'll have to look into it and see what we can do before next month.
Yeah, because when you turn your video off, you're 100%. You haven't skipped once. Your audio is excellent.
90 seconds.
All right, Sandy, we'll stay with us to the end. And,
all right.
We have our Google Hangouts, our video after show, which we'll do. But thank you, everybody, so much for being with us here tonight, and hopefully you enjoyed the show. Coming up on tomorrow night's show, it's our All Linux show, and we're going to have our new Linux host, Marcel Gagne, is going to be with us. He is the author. He writes for Cooking with Linux. He was with us like 7-8 years ago, and he's back. Okay, 2 hours.
Popular demand.
Yeah, 2 hours of Linux with Marcel Gagne. If you have any questions about Linux, ideas, that's the show you want to catch. Again, he's going to be with us both hours. Again, don't forget, get your entry in for a Logitech contest. It's ending this Friday. You don't want to miss that. Okay, and get your entry in now. And while you're at it, make sure that you're subscribed to the show reminder. It's real easy. Just put your email address in there, and if it says that you're subscribed already, you're fine. If not, subscribe, and you'll be in our Friday drawing. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
10 seconds.
Those poor chimps.
Whoa.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
What was with that guy and Tim?
I really, honestly, in the bottom of my heart, do hope that was a joke.
I wasn't too sure one way or the other.
Well, that's scary.
He wasn't using profanity or anything, so.
All right.
He wasn't.
It started to deteriorate.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, I found you guys again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. You know how you can drag a tab off to be a standalone window?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I had dragged you off to the side somehow and couldn't find you for a minute.
Yeah, well, and you evidently muted yourself, but I was able to unmute you, so we're fine.
Well, I muted because I coughed. I coughed on the air, so.
All right. So we're going to finish our Google Hangouts. Thanks, everybody, again for watching, and Ben and I will see you tomorrow night in our All Linux show. So everybody say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, Miss Ann.